Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode of Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today, going through my routine here and listening to what I listen to, I want to share something with you guys that's to me really, really important. I mean, all this stuff I'm talking about is mindset. It just depends on what I read or what I capture throughout the day. But either way, it's all positive mindset stuff, like how you think, or what or how you should be thinking. And unfortunately, a lot of people just don't think of themselves or don't look for positive things to help them throughout the day. And to me, it is very important that I start my day off with the goodies, okay, the mineral vitamins. I have to get these things in, just like I take my vitamins and my coffee with all the stuff that I put in it. I got to make sure that I am putting the right things in my mind so that I can, handle and tackle the stuff throughout the day. So, one of the things that I came across this yesterday, and then I was listening to it again this morning, and I'm just going to share it with you guys. Your mind is the soil, and the knowledge you give it is the seed. All right. Your mind is the soil, and the knowledge you give it is the seed. Okay. And for me, I love this because it's just like I'm looking out my window here and I'm just kind of waiting. Like I'm waiting for my grass to grow, right? Like, and I'm prepping the yard, the soil to, so it can grow like nice and green and not have weeds in it. And my trees can look nice and full and look healthy, and the grass can look healthy, but without putting the proper things in your soil, which I didn't know this up until recently, right? Like, so last year before, I really got into, like the organic stuff for my yard, all right? Because I'm big on curb appeal. I'm big on my front yard looking on point and my car's washed and everything like that. So you ever drive by the house or wherever neighbors come by and it's like got to be one of the nicest houses on the block, okay? And the way it looks and what the cars look like in the driveway. And so before it was just like Scott's Weed and Feed, Scott's this, Scott's that. Well, I didn't realize that Scott's had a lot of, it's just basically just like poison, right? And so I got into a lot of organic stuff, not knowing that it's what's underneath the grass, the soil, how you prep your soil, and what you feed the soil will give you the green grass and keep the weeds away and stuff like that. And so when I came across this quote, and what these guys were talking about, because again, it's just more of like investment stuff, money, generational wealth, like, that kind of thing. They're just saying it doesn't matter like what kind of knowledge you get, what people tell you, what kind of advice you get, if your mind isn't healthy, if you don't have good soil, basically your mind is not in the right place. It doesn't matter what kind of knowledge you get or what kind of help you get from other people. It just, the seed isn't going to plant right. You're not going to grow what it could grow. Okay. I could go out there in my front yard and not do anything to it and just let stuff grow. And of course, what's really going to grow is weeds, crabgrass, and my yard's going to look ugly and the trees aren't going to look as healthy, and it's just going to be an ugly looking yard. Versus if I put the right stuff in it now, right when the spring is getting ready to hit and the temperature is just right, then I'm going to prepare my front yard so that it'll look right and can handle the stresses of the summer heat and all the stuff that Texas throws at it. I will have one of the nicest looking yards in the neighborhood, and that's what I want. And so it just relates to my day-to-day activities and how I think and how I want to think. Like me personally, I want to do good. Like I want to be rich in all areas, and I'm not talking money. I'm just talking about like the way I think, like positive stuff. And I want people around me to have the same kind of mindset, and it's very, very hard because I run a jiu-jitsu academy with hundreds of people with a bunch of different mindsets. A lot of them are very similar to mine, and a lot of them are not. Okay. There's a lot of individuals that I meet, students that I have, where if you just listen to their self-talk on the mat, it's very negative. It's very, it's not a positive thing. And I'll give you a couple examples. Yesterday, I'm teaching class, and I asked a student to row with another student, and their comment was like, okay, well, it's not going to go too well, or it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna do my best and I'm gonna give this person a run for their money because there's a lower belt rolling with a higher belt. Like they just knew already they were gonna get whooped. In their mind, they were already getting whooped. They were already defeated. They were gonna lose the round. Like maybe they were gonna lose the round already because of the difference in skill level, but they were for sure gonna lose it because their mind wasn't in the right place. Versus like, yeah, cool, coach, I got it. I'm gonna give so-and-so a run for the money. I'm gonna give them the best that I got and then let the chips fall where they may, kind of thing. And then I got another comment from like another student telling someone else that they didn't really want to roll with another individual that was new, because this individual looked fit. Okay, they were new, they were visiting, they looked fit, they were very in shape. You could tell they knew a little bit of jiu-jitsu, and this individual has been rolling for a long time. They know jiu-jitsu, okay? And their jiu-jitsu should be able to take over that strength and that fitness of the other person that knows something but doesn't know as much as they do, okay? So anyways, the comment that was made was, well, I don't want to go with that person because if I lose to that person, like basically it was going to do something to their self-esteem. They weren't going to feel good about themselves. They weren't even giving themselves a chance. Like they instead of thinking in that manner, they were like, oh, okay, cool. You're new and you look great and you got a very fit physique, but I have X amount of years of jiu-jitsu and I am going to just jiu-jitsu you with my techniques and overcome all that great looking physique that you have. Even though you know a little bit of jiu-jitsu, that doesn't matter because I'm just going to serve you up on a platter, kind of thing. The mindset is everything. And so with like these individuals, I can give them all the jiu-jitsu that I can give them. I can give them all the details, all the escapes, I give them all the answers. But if their soil, their mind isn't right and they don't believe in themselves, I guess is where I'm getting at, then it doesn't matter what kind of, and it's a proven fact. It's a proven fact for someone like me that's been coaching and running my academy for over 14 years. Okay. It's a very long time. And I'm always there teaching. Okay. I don't have someone else like running the classes for me and I'm never there and I show up every once in a while. Like I'm there on a daily basis and I get to see this firsthand on the way individuals think. And it has a direct correlation. The way they train has a direct correlation of what they think about themselves. The individuals that I know that I'm familiar with, my students on the mats, that have a higher self-esteem, that think of themselves in a more positive way. You can see it when they train. Like they get after it. And even when they're going up against someone that isn't or that is more skilled than them and has way more years on the mat than them, and it's just better. It doesn't matter because they're gonna try to give them the best that they can, and if they lose, great. But it's just they're not gonna go out without a fight. Versus these other people that I'm talking about, I'm just relating to just two, and there's plenty more. They're not even in the fight. Like they don't even belong out there on the mat because they're already defeated before they even shake hands. Just looking at someone, it's like I lost, or they lost, And it's like, man, if you're doing that with your jiu-jitsu, like what else are you doing that with? Like what else in life are you just giving up on before you even you're not even giving yourself a chance to even try because your mind is already rotten. It's full of weeds. It's full of crabgrass and dandelions and everything else that's in the front yard that'll make your yard look ugly because you're just not in the right place mentally. So if you have the right mindset, the right soil, the proper soil, and it's healthy, the knowledge that you give, the seeds that you give it will really grow into something great. Versus you can have like a really good seed and some good knowledge, but your mind isn't healthy and isn't in the right place, and you don't think highly of yourself, you don't think better of yourself, it doesn't matter what people tell you, what kind of advice they give you, you're never going to get the best use out of that because of the way you think about yourself. And in that comment that was on the mat yesterday, there was another student that was watching class, and I just kind of leaned over and whispered to them, like, I would never talk like that. Like, you're never going to hear me talk about myself like that, and that's in that way, of that manner. And in that same sense, on the other side of that, I get people that will always say, you're arrogant, you're conceited, you're full of yourself. I mean, if that's how you want to put it, then yeah, absolutely. Then I am. I'm all of those things, and I will always be all of those things. I am never going to just look at someone and just bow down and just be like, yeah, man, like, or just talk negative about myself. I suck. I'm no good. You just need to hear the way people talk about themselves on the mat. Like, I pay attention to that stuff. Like, I like to watch people. Like, I'll go to a park or a new city, and I'll sit down, have a cup of coffee, and I'll just watch people's behaviors. And it's just what I do, because as a coach, as a teacher, you have to scan the mat, and you're looking over, like, anywhere from 20 to 50 people on the mat, and you can just kind of see their patterns of behavior when they go with certain individuals. Like, if they know they can beat them, then you can see, like, their body language changes. But then they go in someone that they know is better than them, they're like, the way they pull guard, the way they roll is just, they're just getting smashed, and they're only getting smashed because they're not even trying, because why? They already just gave up before the round even started. So then again, like I said, you have those other individuals where, like, I have those students, and I love that, because I have students that will come at me and give me everything they got. I know they respect me as a coach and as a black belt, but there's a fine line to where, like you need to, like, you can't give them too much respect. Like, giving me too much respect and allowing me to just win my rounds because I'm the coach, and not giving me 100% effort, doesn't do me any justice, and it doesn't do those students any justice. And on top of that, I would stop rolling with them anyways, because that's a waste of my time. It's a waste of a round. Like, why would I want to roll with someone like that that's not going to give me 100% effort? And I got a friend of mine that does what I do, and that's kind of his problem. His students won't really come at him the way they should. And we were talking one day, and I'm like, well, I don't have that problem. Like, the students that I roll with, the ones that I pick, like, they bring the heat. And if they didn't bring the heat, then we wouldn't be rolling, because I don't want to waste my time with stuff like that, because I just have those students on the mat that will bow down just because of the belt rank. And then you have the other ones that won't, because they want to test their skills. They want to see where they're at with an individual like me that has all this experience and time. And the only way to know that is to really try. Okay, so that's where we're at. We got individuals out there, and hopefully this isn't you. And if it is you, we need to work on that. You need to work on fixing your soil, your mind, so that whenever you get these seeds, you can make good use of them and make them work in your benefit, versus, you just, you're growing weeds every day because of the way you talk about yourself. So self-talk is very, very important. I did a video on this, I think, a couple years ago, and nothing's changed. Anytime you hear yourself talk badly about yourself, that needs to stop ASAP. Like, you need to quit that, okay? Because you're never really going to live the way you could live, the way you can live, if you're talking to yourself in that kind of way. You can't just lose just by looking at the way someone looks physique-wise. You'll just never win. And those individuals that I know that talk like that, they struggle in life. They're not where they should be at. Okay. So yeah, hopefully that isn't you. And if that is you, that's something that can be fixed. You just got to work on your positive self-talk, your positive affirmation. Like I told a student that was watching yesterday, I just won't allow myself to talk badly about myself. And I have some really, really good people that talk not good about themselves. And it's very hard to listen to that. It's sad to watch because they have a lot of potential. And someone else just popped in my mind. Not gonna say their name, but they have a ton of potential. They can be great. It's just the way they look at themselves, how they talk about themselves is just not in a very positive state. Their mind, their soil isn't good. It's not prepped with the right nutrients to grab a hold of things that people want to help you with. Like I help a lot, I try to help a lot of people, but some people just, they just, I can give them the advice till I'm blue in the face, and it's not helping because of the way they think about themselves. So your mind is a soil, and the knowledge you give it is the seed. Okay. So it just depends on, what kind of soil you have in your mindset. Are you going to be able to grow or not grow? Do you really want to stay where you're at today? If you look at your life and be like, man, it could be so much better. It should be so much better. I just need to stop talking like that. I need to stop looking at myself this way. I need to stop thinking about myself this way. I need to stop comparing myself to other people and tearing myself apart and start building myself back up. All right, guys, I'll leave it there. I just thought that was some really good stuff I was listening to, and I wanted to get that out there. All right, you guys have a great day. Catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you.